We will get to this mission soon, I promise. In fact, before I forget about it, let's save to make sure that we once again saved our progress. Trains can be lucrative robbery targets. You can board a train while it's stopped or jumped on it from horseback to rob it. We will be robbing trains sooner or later, and I'm going to show you the way I do it to get the technicality that we robbed a train.
Oh.
Okay, let's see.
Hey there.
I'm actually going to grab a new horse while I'm here. Let's see. There's Gray, and what's that one in the back there? No, that's not. Unless that's not a Kentucky Saddler. Silver Bay, then it's Gray, and then Chestnut Pinto. I'm gonna grab the Gray one. I mainly just want to stable it so it can be the next horse that I work on after this one. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Everything's okay.
Here we go. Come on now, easy. Easy. Easy, easy.
Nice.
All done.
Easy and simple.
There, girl. There's a girl. You done good, girl. That's a good girl. Yep. Good girl. There, girl. Park. Yeah. Easy now. You okay? Come on, a bit more.
Okay, I was gonna go around it, but since it's moving, it's good.
You all right?
It's okay, we're almost at the stable, and then you can rest. It's okay.
Easy there. Yeah, you're doing good.
Hello there. That horse doing all right? If you want me to keep that overnight, there's room in the stable.
All right, girl.
Watch one of the deputies let a fella out of jail.
Hello, sir.
How's it going?
Morning, Parker. What you looking for?
Yes, I am. And this is the one I'm looking for. Thank you, sir.
How are you?
Be seeing you around.
Morning.
Get your paper.
Can I sit down on one of these chairs?
I don't want to see any more trouble from you. You hear?
Look, there must be some misunderstanding.
All right. I think I'll even stand right here actually while reading the paper. I think I did that last time. All right, we got a lot of reading to do, so forgive me if my voice fades away as I read all this. Sorry. I can't help but not take myself seriously. Who are Scarlet Meadows bandits? Train robbery confounds lawmen. Wagon block train. Officials call for action. Gertrude Bombach was knitting a hat for her niece when the train lurched to a stop and shouting commenced. I feared for my life, she said. Passengers were subjugated to a terrifying ordeal as the train was robbed near the Lemoyne border. Outlaws used an oil wagon on the tracks to cause the train to come to a stop. They then threatened the passengers to give up their belongings. It was then that lawmen, having been tipped off to the robbery, arrived on the scene and confronted the outlaws. Sheriff Tompkins was one of these lawmen who arrived on the scene. There's very little to tell. We are searching for evidence at this time. The passengers are in great distress. The supply cars have been looted. Men are dead. This region's problems with lawlessness have returned. Reports indicate the outlaws escaped after having engaged in a furious gun battle with the lawmen. So does that mean somebody tipped them off before we committed the robbery, or someone saw it by chance and tipped them off? I don't know. I think it could be either or. President congratulates America. Says U.S. is unstoppable. Spanish-American War outcome celebrated. Victory in 100 days. President Alfred McAllister congratulated the American people in their response to the call to arms as North and South joined together to defeat Spain, saying that Spain is no longer a power, and the United States stands as the strongest nation in the Western Hemisphere. The splendid little war saw the U.S. Navy defeat the Spanish fleet in a mere few hours. Not one American life was lost in that skirmish, proving what McAllister says is testament to the glory and perseverance of America. Overall, only 300 Americans lost their lives in the war, whilst the other side reported thousands of dead at the hands of our brave boys. He especially made mention of Colonel Thaddeus Waxman and his Rough Riders, the cavalry troop that took San Juan Hill in Guarma, becoming a national hero in the process. I love seeing the worlds of Rockstar make characters that are supposed to be like this world's in real life counterpart. Like, I think Thaddeus Waxman's supposed to be Theodore Roosevelt, and McAllister is supposed to be, oh gosh, it's not Grover, it's honestly I forget the president's name, but you probably know what I mean. Just the fact that you can tell who is supposed to be the real life counterpart and you can kind of follow along. It's kind of nice. Evidence of ancient mystery discovered. Local man finds rock carvings. Church officials denounce claim. Ministers gathered last week to denounce the claims of eccentric resident Frank Sinclair of Big Valley, West Elizabeth, who asserts he has found evidence of ancient peoples in local rock formations. He has discovered several mysterious rock carvings around the country and claimed they point to a great meaning, a mystery he intends to solve. Religious leaders have grown concerned with his work, worrying that others will get caught up in the fervor and heretical beliefs. There is only one meaning and message, and that is the message of the good book, Reverend Sterling Morton stated during the gathering. Mexican desperados bring terror. Grizzlies under siege. Boldness of Flacco's gang worries the law. Some of the most desperate bandits in the region are imposing a reign of terror on the Grizzlies and surrounding country. Led by famous gunslinger, outlaw, and robber Flacco Hernandez, a gang of thieves has raided numerous local towns, including Strawberry and Valentine, and one daring but ultimately fruitless train robbery, the safe and strong boxes were blown to atoms. Frightened passengers were held hostage through, though not mercifully molested. Reverend Eunice Garand has called for an expulsion of what he calls all men of Mexican ancestry as they bring villainy and wanton crime to our great country. That is messed up, but shows how messed up the time was, for sure. Murder on the Loose was headed to prison, ambush freeze outlaw, member of Vanderlyn gang. Hot chase for fugitives. Sean McGuire, a member of the notorious Dutch Vanderlyn's gang, has escaped from custody. McGuire was captured in the process of being transported from Blackwater to a federal prison in the West. He is part of Vanderlyn's gang, who were responsible for the recent Blackwater boat robbery that left many dead. The shootout was fierce and several men were killed as a result. Bounty hunters had caught McGuire but were ambushed on a stretch of the upper Montana River by Confederates of the accused. Upon relating the circumstances of the escape, one lawman on the scene said that McGuire repeatedly expressed the idea of jail is no terror to him, nor the idea of death by hangman's noose. McGuire even once suggested to a sheriff that his rope wasn't stout enough and may break under his weight. Officials have called for action, saying the escape is yet another example of the inability of police to keep criminals incarcerated. Cornwall expansion continues, from commodities to the Caribbean. Requests government protection, cities robberies. Cites robberies. Leviticus Cornwall is a well-known expansionist. A railroad into every expanse of this country is only a matter of time, he declared when launching the Cornwall Southern and Eastern Railways. He built the trains and uses them to ship goods from Cornwall, freight and commodities, Cornwall currency and tar, and his other business concerns. His sugar business reaches into the Caribbean, and not a week goes by without a ship ferrying Cornwall sugar calling into America. He is now calling for government support to bring protection to industries working to improve conditions in the West. After a string of robberies, Mr. Cornwall, who has been known to speak glibly about the evil effects of education upon certain kinds of lesser intellectuals, is one of the wealthiest men in the region, and requires numerous private guards to protect his person in multiple concerns. Despite questionable accounts on poor conditions at plantations run by Cornwall employees, his goods flow throughout much of the United States, and Congress has so far shown little appetite for breaking up what many people call a regional monopoly of services. Alongside his private militia, he is believed to be one of the principal clients of the Pinkerton Agency in the region. This is a good example of this time and what they did to try to keep businesses from getting too big. This is a great way to show how history was. And what this big deal was even back then, which some people even say this is a problem now. Cigarette cards give fame to murderers. New edition from Falcon Claw draws protests. Anti-Cigarette League warns card spreads habit to youth. For many a year, man and boy alike have delighted in all manner of collectible cards included in pouches, packets, and tins of tobacco. But a new set from Falcon Claw Tobacco that celebrates famous gunslingers and outlaws has drawn the ire of Puritan groups. The cards honor gunslingers such as Black Bell, Jim Boy Calloway, and even Emmett Granger, a known sadistic killer who has in recent years turned to hog fancying. The Butcher Brothers, who ran afoul of legendary gunslinger Landon Ricketts, are also featured. Mexican desperado Flaco Hernandez graces one card. When the likes of Frank Heck, the Otis Miller Boys, or the coward Billy Knight, who shot many men in the back, are celebrated in this way, it spreads the contaminating influences and effects of the cigarette habit, said Miss Hattie Birdsley of the Anti-Cigarette League. Sources report that tobacco has been selling well. Death lurks in the dust. Scarlet fever rages in Armadillo. Shocking conditions in the city. Scarlet fever exists in this town to the extent that has never been seen before, believed to be due to bad sanitation. Through one health official claims it is exacerbated by the high winds and dust storms plaguing the county. The spread of zymonic diseases has raised great fears. Many households are under quarantine, and those who can are fleeing in droves. Sanitary conditions in the town are deplorable, and the mortality rate is so high that the residents have taken to burning bodies. Between the dust storms killing crops and causing starvation and the scarlet fever epidemic, some say Armadillo feels like a cursed town. Travelers are advised to avoid the area. This just makes me think of that scene of Seth MacFarlane in A Million Ways to Hide in the West, ranting about how living in the West can suck. It can suck So
Old Jack
much.
Donahue left the grog shop drunker than I ever seen him. Next day, I heard he got dragged by his horse 2 towns over, looking like Chew.
Sorry, I'm just getting a breath in. Exclusion Act upheld. Immigrants must stay out, says president. Asked to make law evicting immigrants permanent. Foreign workers harmful to wages economy. The Chinese Exclusion Act, passed in federal law in 1882, has been renewed. The law prohibits all further immigration of Chinese laborers, saying they have a detrimental effect on the U.S. economy and are being used by industrialists to undercut labor and keep wages low for everybody. Proponents of the regulation also argue that the Chinese have committed active violence upon Americans and will never integrate properly into our society. States such as California have set their own restrictions, and some are calling for mandatory reparation of all Chinese workers already here. Many Chinese are faced with the decision to stay in the United States or return to China to be with their families, whom they may never see again in their lifetime due to the ban on immigration. Upon its renewal, Senator Lansing from New York called the act nothing less than the legalization of racial discrimination. He was shouted down by a majority of senators who support the ban. And this is an example of how discrimination has been integrated into law in our country, at least at one point in our history, and we cannot ignore that this is actually something that happened. Maybe not like to this degree. I don't know the exact laws. This might be an exaggeration or just like a way to like show that this time they wrote laws like this because that's how they saw it. It's ridiculous. And that guy they quoted in this fictional article is right. Like this is history. Like this was a reality for many people in the past. Like not, and you know, like, and like this is true. Like, and if you look at that, like they passed it in 1882 and they renewed it. If you really want to look deep into it, from my knowledge of history, is during that time they used Chinese workers to build railroads for super cheap that were dangerous to build. So they only pass it now that probably most of the railroads are built connecting the east and west. It's just, you can connect to how messed up it was at that time and how they were taken advantage of. You know, just reading something like this just breaks my heart. Machine kills man. First recorded death by petrol-driven vehicle. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Eberhardt were heading from Boston to San Francisco by vehicle Thursday and met a terrible accident as hundreds waited hours in the streets for their arrival in Stamford, Connecticut. To see an automobile for the first time, the couple was taking a much-celebrated drive across the United States, seldom accomplished, as onlookers in each town stopped to see a horseless carriage with their very own eyes. According to officials, the roads have been in terrible state since the rains, and the wheel and its spokes abruptly shattered, causing the automobile to fly into a ravine, flinging Mr. Eberhardt out and in front of the vehicle and breaking his neck. Ew, yikes. That's terrible. That is terrible, dude. But you know, it was a work in progress. Vehicles weren't completely safe by then. 20 miners killed, explosion in a coal mine. In Roanoke Ridge, an explosion set off by a miner's lamp in Shaft 9 has killed up to 20 men. The town of Ansburg was plunged into confusion and despair as women and children were bewailing the deaths of husbands and fathers. The mine is owned by Archibald Jameson, who said the company has been careful to provide every possible facility to prevent explosions, but notes that the mine has always been gaseous. The accident comes as many workers complain about the long hours, unsafe conditions, and low pay and are seeking to organize a union to address such issues. New railroad completed, a grand project or manifest destiny. The final ties were laid and spikes driven through to complete the Central Union rail line stretching through New Hanover. Passengers will be able to bypass the Grizzlies, Roads, and Scarlet Meadows, drastically reducing travel time. Now with a direct line connecting Cornwall, Kerosene, and Tar, and Saint Denis, freight and commuters will flow fast and freely. The project came with complications, including controversy over missing workers' wages and a land dispute. Representatives from towns such as Van Horn Trading Post and Ansburg say the new line will result in the decline of their towns. Civic planners hail the railroad as a new dawning day in American progress and history. I think this one repeats every time. The Art of Angling by Jeremy Gill, Bullhead Catfish. My writings in angling continue to attract fresh young neophytes eager to begin life's journey of standing in solitude, holding a pole in silence, free from the rating of the fair sex. Indeed, I have taught more than one U.S. president to fish, especially catfish, for luring bottom feeders into a pernicious situation that benefits the well-heeled is a prerequisite for successful politicians, almost as much as it's a prerequisite for any wise husband. Catfish respond to handmade lures, crayfish, and worms. Try all these when attempting to land this simply wonderful and much maligned fish. They also need to be coaxed, not bullied. There are fantastic bullhead catfish near Sissica Island. If you see me angling for bullhead, please do not come say hello and ask for an autograph. Unlike the fish, please do come say hello and ask for an autograph. Unlike the fish, I promise I won't bite. Alright, that's the last article. And with that paper read, we now have a couple of stranger missions that are open to us that I've kind of been putting on hold for a long time now. I'm actually going to change my outfit, though. I need to.
Welcome back.
Can I get a room for tonight, please?
Room's all yours. Head on up.
I should probably actually do something about my dead eye. Fill it up for one. And then... Canned salmon, no. Let's just eat the prime beef.
Need to freshen up a bit? Got a bathing service.
The next two stranger missions we're actually starting are going to be more introductions to, like, wider scale kind of stranger missions. The one you've been seeing in Valentine, the one that's been over in the saloon over here, we are not...
Hey, let's talk about this. Arthur,
You might want to
come
quit
lend a
that.
hand here.
That drunk's got mean friends, believe me.
Oh, hell. Wasting my time anyway.
I appreciate it, Arthur. There's no sense of humor the fellers around here.
How drunk were you?
Just normal drunk. Anyway, I should probably hit the breeze. I'll be at camp if you need me.
Maybe try keeping your mouth shut next time.
Oh, come on. You'd all be bored as rocks without me.
Looks like it's
You
the
know,
first
he
time
ain't a
he's
bad
ever been so-
feller, all things considering.
That man's head's going soft in his old age. You better watch out for him.
Listen, fool or not, that drunk's a friend. I see you mess with him again, I'll see to it you don't do much after.
Screw your threats. That piece of shit comes round here again, he'll get what's coming to him.
Well,
Thank you.
I made sure he knew not to mess with me. Which, you know what? Where's this guy going? I'm actually might be convinced to rob him. Nah, if he's just staying there, he ain't worth it. Well, we protected him. But as I was saying, yes, the stranger mission that starts in actually this saloon over here is now locked off until we complete John's mission. It's actually one of those, like, really strange things. Where even though he's not in there right now, we can't start it just because at one point his mission is in there. It's like the way the game scripts and stuff. But, yeah, that's going to hold off for a while. I probably would have started that now, honestly, if it allowed me to do it at this moment, but it doesn't. I'm going to wait till the next chapter to really do it. But no, we're going to go start the stranger mission that I've been passing by over in Flatneck Station, and the one that we passed by right here. And most of you guys probably know which ones I'm talking about. I wanted to wait until I read a certain article to really start one of those, and the other one was locked off until you did Fisher of Men. So that's kind of what led to that. I'm gonna save another time. I mean, I know where I'm going, but you never can be too sure about these sort of things, I guess.
Hello,
He was
partner.
pretty happy for a deuce.
Damn joke. What's up? You ask me.
Well, good on you.
Quentin, go get me another drink.
I'm not listening.
Shit
Oh,
mouth,
welcome
little
back.
ferret.
Right then. What'll it be? Work this good. I ought to up my price.
Look away, you great big bloody girl. I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you. I
Damn
ain't
near
afraid
a work of art.
you, not one. Afraid of your linens and your perfume.
Right then, you are all set.
Manners. Like being in Paris or New York. All this bullshit. This is wilderness. Valentine. That name about sums it up. They should have called it something else.
It's what's on his face.
Ain't
distinguishes
none
a
of
man.
yous, men. Not one. This town used to be full of men. Now look at it. All of you, bloody women. My wife was more of a man than most of you. Far more.
Fine head of hair we got
And
to
that's
work
the
with
way
here.
I liked it. I was good. And I was proper. And I was right. What is wrong with this dump? What is wrong with this dump? Hello, mister. All this shit about the old days? I'll cut that tongue out of your mouth, you goddamn
There's
bastard.
something to it, I reckon.
I am bored of you fools.
Bar's right over there if you need a drink. Happy to keep it neat. Just come on back.
Well, I wasn't gonna show off me going back and getting my hair cut, but I guess John had other plans. Oh, John, I thought we got done with everything with him and all of his interactions, but I guess I was wrong. He just seems to keep coming back so we can hear him complain about the world more and more and more. I actually had to come back here to get my hair cut and... Oh, what's going on here?
Come to see the rule of law enacted. We will not sit idly by as people take the law into their own hands. And you, today, believe me, you will see the rule of law.
I'm not a killer. Those bastards were monsters.
This lady here is guilty of multiple counts of murder,
Burn in hell, you bitch!
posing as a lady of ill repute to lure innocent men,
You miserable sow!
stabbing them to death at their most vulnerable, then disposing of their bodies. She shows no remorse. Neither shall we.
Let's go!
The time has come for your judgment. No need to wait. Release the floor.
Oh, shit!
Damn.
Let it be known that Valentine is a community of law and order.
I tell you, this place is cursed.
And today, law and order won out. Leave her body here to rot.
Jesus. All that excitement and it didn't cost a penny.
She finally got it.
Yep, bitch got what was coming, pardon my language.
Hi there, mister.
Hello.
Well, a sad end. Now that actually happens whether you help her or not, believe it or not. Like if you help her and hide the body, that would still occur sometime later. So it means she either killed somebody else or they just suspected her anyway. But I think she even like admits to killing multiple men, where it's like don't get me wrong, men are terrible. All right, there are many men who are terrible, just like there are many women who are terrible, and I'm willing to believe that many men attacked her, especially since she's a working girl. Like, they're vulnerable. But it seems like this is just my gut saying that I think she actually was just killing them. You know, I could be wrong. If somebody has evidence that I'm wrong, feel free to tell me in the comments. Maybe point me in the direction of a video that would prove me right or wrong. But I think the game is like trying to lead you to believe like she's supposed to like trick you, and then you find out later like, oh, she actually was kind of a heartless murderer a little bit. But regardless of that, we're now headed to the next stranger mission, and before we do that, I want to get rid of these in our inventory because we should, I've never tested this out, but we should get some more in the cutscene for the stranger mission. You can probably assume what the stranger mission's about, but I believe you should get some for free as long as you have the space for it. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of those because it's not like we're using much of them anyway. And besides, we end up getting rid of at least one every time we pick up a new pack anyway, so it works out.
You're all right, girl. Easy, girl. Yeah. Hey, you're okay, girl.
Do you smoke, sir?
Sure, but perhaps not as much as you.
Oh, no, don't worry about these. Actually, take some. Take a couple of packs. Take a few.
Oh, thank you. What are all the cigarettes for? Are you heading on a long journey or something?
No, nothing like that at all. I'm just interested in the cards.
Okay.
Cigarette cards. Oh, you got any?
Yeah?
Well, get them out. Let me take a look. Come on.
A little picture card?
Yeah, I'll pay you a good price.
Okay. Here.
Nothing I haven't got. The value is in completing the set. Sometimes I'll smoke up to 200 cigarettes in one day, just so I can keep opening the packs. I wish I could explain to you the pleasure and the pain I get out of collecting these babies.
Sure. It sounds,
Thrilling? Yeah, it is. Not to mention the vast amounts of life-reaffirming cigarettes I get to smoke. Oh, and the amount of money? A veritable fortune, sir.
fortune.
Oh, sure. A complete set of any series is worth a fortune. Here, look at this. Gunslingers. Over here, circus freaks. Yes. Meow meows of the desert. So rare.
I never knew.
Sure.
How much?
Well, it depends on the rarity, sir.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You know, if you ever get a complete set, I can take it off your hands.
You'd pay me.
A fair price. Now, you send them to me right here. Phineas T. Ramsbottom, at your service. Okay, I gotta run. This is my train. Look me up, okay? Think about this deal. Only a complete set. That's where the value lies.
Phineas T. Ramsbottom, Cartophilus and Ephemera Collector, whatever that means. Alright, and these are all the different sets that we can collect, as you probably saw in our compendium. That's where we can keep track of stuff. But I'm not sure what new cards I got, because I think it gave me new cards. So we're going to actually check the compendium before we grab new ones that are actually in the area. Now that I've started that stranger mission... Sorry, let me readjust my mic here. Now that I've started that stranger mission, I'm actually going to start collecting some of the cards in the towns, like set places that I don't have, I can avoid easily. So that's the plan. Let's see, I got all those. Okay, yep. Okay, I think I got horses, and then... Okay, it looks like the one new one I got was from the horse selection, so which one did I get? Let's see, I got that one. Ah, the Dutch Warm Blood, which that one's not locked up in the epilogue. We can find that here, but that's okay. I think that's my most complete set, actually. Okay. Then we got those. Let's actually get the two cards that are here in Flatneck Station.
Hey, watch
Sorry,
it.
sir. Tall trees. The Vistas of America. And then here's the other one, which I think is another Vistas of America, which is supposed to be Rio Bravo, I believe. You gotta head up here. If you're afraid of heights, look away. And Rio Bravo. Alright, I'm gonna save to make sure we don't lose that progress either. And then head to the next stranger mission.
Yeah.
We must have gotten a card we already got before, along with the second pack. So that's, I mean, it's nice to see that we got something new out of that, you know? Alright, before we actually start this stranger mission, we actually want to go into the cabin and get everything we can in there. Because if you start the stranger mission, you cannot get back into this cabin until you have done everything with it. And you can't complete the stranger mission until the epilogue. So take advantage of the moment you're allowed to do stuff in here and do it. Like, get some more premium cigarettes. Preston Stevenson, and this was artist, right? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Where you at? Where you at? Ah, gotcha. I don't even know how the velocipede? Sapede? I don't know. Oh, we have it now, so that's good. Looks like it's getting to night, so we'll have to save or at least camp until the next morning. I knew there was some aged pirate rum in here. We're not gonna drink it, but I knew there was. I think I just knocked a fish down. I could be crazy, though. Largemouth bass, take that. Alright. Now let's go camp. Till the morning.
Girl? Yep. Easy. Whoa.
Who are you?
Hey.
Hello, chum.
Chum?
Do you want an autograph or a photograph?
I'm sorry?
People often get nervous, but there's really no need to. I'm just a normal guy who, well, happens to be very famous.
Okay. Who are you?
Jeremy Gill,
Who?
the famous fisherman. I've written a lot of books. I'm in the newspaper all the time. Here's one from the New Hanover Gazette from a few years back. And this is a book I wrote. Huh? I wrote it.
Good for you.
You really don't know who I am? Oh, well. Nice to meet you.
You too. Arthur.
Sure you don't want a photo?
Not right now.
You know, mothers, they often offer me their daughters.
Just for a photograph?
No, to marry. But I say no. I'm married to the fish.
Oh. So, you're famous for fishing?
Very.
And that pays well?
Pretty well. What I mostly do is send fans stuffed fish.
Stuffed fish?
Yeah. Here, let me show you. Come with me.
And you're selling these?
Yes. How many do you want? If you get 3, we could do a photograph. Together, like actual friends.
No, I'm fine. It's sort of ridiculous.
Listen, jump. People love it. And I could sell even more fish if I had them. It helps them to know that out there, there's some man fighting with Neptune on a daily basis and winning.
Okay.
But I can't catch enough of them. And there's really good money in this.
I'll fish a little.
You do? Well, in that case, send them to me. Of course, not if they're too rotten. Do you like that bass? I'd sell this for $50. I'd give you 15.
Send you fish.
Ooh, my card and a map.
Well, maybe I shall.
Only the decent ones. They have to be at least 24 inches in length and 10 pounds in weight. No one wants to imagine Jeremy Gill catching a tiddler. There's no money in tiddlers.
So I hear.
All right. So let's look at this legendary fish map. It's kind of like the legendary hunting map, except for fish. Go figure. And as you can see, some of the fish on the map are in parts of the world that we cannot get to, specifically West Elizabeth and New Austin down there. But everywhere else we can get. So we're gonna get as many as we can in the before the epilogue, for sure. But this is God, I can't think right now. This is a stranger mission we will not be able to finish until the
Come on, girl.
epilogue. Now, I did just see a comment recently on one of my videos asking me if I was planning to find all, like, on how I was going to find all the cards in the game for the cigarettes. As I've probably stated in the comment and in other videos, my plan is I'm going to find every card that's actually laid out in... Sorry, I just totally hit something on my desk. In the world, but I will probably get all of them done before the epilogue by buying the premium cigarettes in the store or just finding them, like premium cigarettes throughout the world, just so I can get done with it before the epilogue. But I still plan on finding every single card that I'm able to. If I miss one or two because something happens, a glitch or whatever, then it is what it is. I'll accept that as my fate. You know, and that this might not be a true 100% walkthrough. In fact, it isn't, because I don't have the treasure quest that you get for the pre-order digital download version of the deluxe edition, which is stupid. But I included a link to a video that I thought would show off that. So that's my way of having 100%. But you know, if I miss a thing or two, it is what it is. That's life, you know. But we're slowly but surely, I will find everyone, or at least attempt to. Where am I going? Wrong direction is where I'm going. Where do I want to go next, actually? Because I believe the next thing on my to-do list, if I can go check it, is missions. We're actually going to do Micah's mission, but before we do Micah's mission, I believe I need to try getting a couple of the bandit missions done. So we're probably going to head up towards Valentine, rob a couple people. We're going to do some bandit-like things. Oh, look at that. We have a 102 bounty down there. Huh. I thought the bounty would be up here. I guess not. But we'll have to pay off that bounty sometime soon. Anyway. I'm trying to think. Oh, right. That's where I'm paying off the bounty. But I might be able to do that now. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking out loud. But we're going to head up to Valentine and actually get a couple of the cards and all that are up there. In fact, yeah, we're probably going to use this time to get a bunch of the cards that I've been purposely missing or skipping and stuff like that. So we'll head up to Valentine and start doing that little fun thing. We're probably going to do Valentine, maybe get two that are over here at the Downs Ranch, and then come up, get the couple that are in the Heartland oil fields, and then finish off by getting what's an Emerald Ranch. And then, while we're doing that, getting all those, we'll probably work on the bandit challenges, along with a couple other challenges. Basically, what I need to get done before I can do Micah's mission. And then once Micah's mission is done, I'm going to take the time to explore all this area over here and basically do everything I need to do in this chapter before moving on to chapter 3, which is a whole lot more specifically just like studying animals, finding them for the first time, getting a bunch of points of interest that are all over here, and then starting a couple of stranger quests, including this one right here. But this one's just like a section of it, which we'll get to that later. But we're going to start another big one that's going to take us into chapter 3 when I finish it and stuff. I like talking about my plans and future plans so you guys kind of know what to expect and where I am going with my thought process. But regardless of that, let's head to Valentine and start getting a couple of the cards up there.